Yeah, out of control, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, there we are, look. Back on James's. Ongoing, isn't it, of course. And yeah, so we stripped it all out. We've got all the trims out, ready for, because we have to, let me show you all the, it's on the bench in a second, but yeah, put all the loom in for the meth, same time as the lines, and then sort of like figure it all out. And yeah, we'll be on our way. So anyway, we can quickly straight onto the bench here, look to me, yeah?
Yep.
The first thing that catches your eye is the M25 in the bag here, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool, isn't it? Oh my god, look at all them wires. It's a little bit scary, isn't it? Scary stuff. So in there basically, they say that's the full loom, that's your low level sensor on that, that's your boost vacuum, which will go to the boost barb, which I don't know, is here somewhere, it might be separate anyway, the brass boost barb which goes into the charge pipe. What else we got? Just put a little filter in there somewhere. Yeah, there's a little filter which filters just relay, just filters the air, so you got a dirty air so nice and clean from the back to the controller, so we don't get anything contamination into the controller. So the controller itself is right. So this has changed now. On my Mark III Focus RS, our own car, that is all in one. So everything is, you just got one main controller display all in one. They've changed it now, so this is the actual control box, and that's just the display for adjustments. So it's a bit smaller, so when I eventually get my car back to me, who knows? But when I do get it back, then you'll see it's a bit bigger on mine. So they've changed it now. It's just an upgrade. So that'll be tucked away nice and neatly under the glove box somewhere. We'll find a nice spot for that, probably Velcro it and stick it nice and neat on the, well, I don't know, on the centre console dash somewhere. Anyway, wherever we put it, it'll be neat. We'll have to think about it, won't we? So the usual thing, so this is an upgrade that we're doing on this one. Where so we just put this here. This is your normal nylon meth line, black, blue, clear. That's the ones that we do in it. Pump. Now this is the standard head for pushing fitments, which we don't tend to use. There's options. You can have that, but we prefer to use, you can have compression fits, which is like that sort of, you know, what actually puts on and holds it, you know, compression and pulls it in, you know, grabs it. That's, you know, the other option, and then the other option from that is the braided line fitment, which is what James has gone for here, which is all this stuff you fed through the car. And you've got these two, the tank, bolts onto there. Usual thing for viewers that have, you know, been following us and seen when I've done just a little talk about the meth kit setup and all that sort of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Others, then I'll just, you know, like I say, I'll just give you an outline of it, what it is. So you've got the pump, meth line, nylon, upraid is braided, nozzle, solenoid, fail-safe. You need that because basically if something, you get a block nozzle or not fluid low, but if you got, which it will trigger that, but if you've got a block nozzle, you've got electrical fault, or whatever the case may be, you need something to fail-safe to trigger it. Even on this is RT330. This is not running full meth dependent like on Timmy's that we just done, or the RS. So it's a little bit different, but you still advisable to have the fail-safe in place in case you run out of meth or something happens, and then it tells you, and then you can flick it back with this one here on the SBS with real software. You can flick it back onto the 99 ROM map then. All right. So the other little attachments here. This is all from the tank and all the attachments and that sort of stuff. We'll show you as we go along. We start building it. This has to be, you got a drill obviously for the pickup on it, and you've got a drill for the low level sensor. This is the baffle section of the tank around here, look, which keeps the fluid. It's a bit like with a baffle section like on a sump. Hey Timmy?
That's right.
Where it keeps the oil in that one position. Once it's sloshing around everywhere, so that you're a bit different obviously with the oil pressure. But this is the same. You don't want to be losing pressure from the pump to feeding the meth to the car. With the low level sensor, you know, you'd put it, like we put them sort of like here, and then here just on, you know, like half and half on the seam, and then it's right into the baffle section then. Because what you don't want is if you put the feed up here, and it's not even in the baffle, and then the low level sensor higher, well, you might not get the full benefit of using all the fluid on this 2.25 gallon tank. But low level sensor comes on, you should take note of that and then fill the tank up. You should never fill them right to the top. Maybe should you let them get really low. So it's just a bit keeping an eye on things, that's all. But again, people ask me, how long does the meth last? It all depends on your right foot. You won't be using the meth on a certain RPM. So say I set this to like click in at 10 PSI. Under that, you're not going to be using any meth. So if you're cruising on the motorway, if you're on the motorway doing 70, you're not even on boost, so you won't be using any meth. Pump head needs to be changed. So standard one, to say pushing fitments, need to change the pump head because that is, where are they coming in there? Look, so these, which screw into the side of the pump head because we're going for the braided line. You can have these in the black end fittings or red. So it'd be pretty much the same as what Timmy's got with a single nozzle, like he had before, different controller, because they don't do the, the round one anymore in the pod. That was quite nice, but you just can't get it anymore. So let's fix that. It's all good. One thing I mentioned is a meth switch to me, innit? They do these in, so this is a billet switch. Do them in black or the natural finish. James wants the black one, so we've already put that in Timmy's, haven't we?
Yep.
So we'll show you later where we're going to put that. It will go down nice and neat down by the gear stick there where the USB port is. And you don't have to have a meth switch, but we always recommend it because you want to be able to switch it off, don't you? So at any time, got one in the van, got one in all the applications. So just say, for example, you were getting low on meth, you didn't have any, then you just switch it off, switch the meth off, turn it back. Because on the SPS switch on this, so the way this works on the RT330 is for those of you that are familiar with an SPS switch, the Reva one, like 0 to 9, some of them don't matter. On this, for example, number 1 would be anti-theft, number 2 would be your sort of like 95 RON fuel, all right? Not number 3 would be your 99 RON fuel, your upper fuel, well 98 it would be, wouldn't it? Not 99, but you can put 99 and then the number 4 is for 102 octane fuel, which I've said loads of times before, you cannot get 102 race, well it's not race fuel, but 102 fuel at the pumps in the UK. 99 is the most you can get, unless you go to, before somebody corrects me, unless you're at circuit like, I don't know, is it Donington, something like that, or Silverstone, Golf, whatever, there's 102 at the pump, but that's the only time you'll find, if they still do it, race fuel from a pump is at race circuits. I've not seen it anywhere else. So you can't really run it on number 4 on the SPS switch because it's looking for advanced timing to suit the octane, and if you haven't got it in your tank, it's pointless, isn't it? There's no point. So this allows you to, well, it'll be more than, look, depending on what mix you run. So although the Reva software on number 4 on the SPS switch is only going to be looking for 102, this will give more than 102 octane, depending on the mix that you run. But that's not going to make, for the cooling side of it and whatever, but it's not going to be an advantage to the way that for the ignition timing, because it's only looking for 102 octane, all right, which is like 3 degrees of advanced timing. So that's it. It will stop. It doesn't matter if you put loads more octane in it. It's not really going to do much unless you add custom software like on Timmy's. That's completely different because that's actually a custom software, as the word says, to run to look for whatever octane that you want to try and target for. So completely different setup. But we've ran lots of, we've all ran it on the single nozzle, as I said before, and it's just allows you to maximise the Reva software, i.e. 102 octane. Once you've done it, you can upgrade from there. So if later on you wanted to upgrade to full auxiliary port injection, you can. He's got the fundamentals there, you just add on to it, it's easy. Although we would have to change the software, obviously, which, that's self-explanatory. But yeah, so what we need to do now, Timmy, is start getting on with it,
yep.
Don't we? And then we can do some more vids as we go, just to share with. But there's lots we're doing with this. We're just waiting for the to go and grab it from the powder cutters. With regards to, he's got a DNA interior strut brace, which the one that goes across the sort of struts and then goes down and pins to the body side of it on the floor. he wanted it was silver, it's DNA stuff, but he wanted it powder coated black, so we've done that for him. But we'll show you that when we get it back. We've got a nice, the exhaust is quite cool, isn't it?
Yep.
Which we'll show you that when we get round to doing it. But yeah, he's been a bit naughty, old James, and he adding on a few things as he's going, getting me to do more stuff and more stuff and more stuff to me, eh?
Yeah.
It's not on, is it? Well, it's not on yet. No,
I was going to say it's not
before you say it, yeah. That's it. Anything else, mate?
No, that's
you
it.
can think of. See, did you see that? I went like that, and it actually activated the shaker plate on the MT ramp. It's cool, isn't it?
Mm.
You know. You're amazed, aren't you?
That was a bit weird, yeah.
It was weird, isn't it? Very weird. No. Yeah, there we are. So we'll crack on and come back to you with an update very soon. It's just a progress, really. So Timmy's been hard at work, and that right, Timmy?
Yep.
With regards to very time consuming, and we'll show you in a minute with the meth side of it. So that's all the wiring's in. It's a bit like, you know, I say the spaghetti junction M25, when all the wiring you think, God blimey, it's scary. And every application is different. So this is the first one that we've done with a new type controller for the cool and mist. Previous ones on Monty's and Malcolm's and Timmy's, and that is you know, the pod controller up on the right hand side of the dash with the electronic failsafe for the Meth. This is completely different. This runs, they've changed the controller. It's a different way. The wiring is routed differently, Timmy, isn't it?
Yep.
So yeah, so as you can see, look, this is the wiring which is yet to be connected. We tested it all works fine. So this is for the Meth, which runs through to the low level sensor and the pump. And then obviously you got we have the braided line upgrade which runs down through to the front. It takes, to do it properly, I don't know, not many people do it, but can't speak for anybody else how they do their installs. We can only speak for how we do it, Timmy, don't we? And we're quite meticulous. I would do, you know, every install is like it's my own car. So if something's not acceptable and I'm not liking it, then I don't carry on, you know, and I'll change it. Lots of other things which has been added on that James has done, like fitting the cooler work shifter, which we'll show you in a sec. Finding out where we're going to put the button, and then plumbing it all through. So we've now got to decide, because we're not having anything in there, so we just got to strengthen this off a bit so it don't start dipping down, because the meth tank will sit there and he still wants access to underneath. So we got to find some way of propping that up, maybe with some like we could use the original sort of like spongy foam thing, Timmy, can we? But we'll see. Anyway, so whiz around to the front there, look, Timmy, and then we'll have a gander at what's going on in here. So yeah, that's the cooler work shifter, which is pretty, you know, just pretty good actually. Right, so that's the cooler work shifter. That's all been dialed into me, and it obviously we got to road test it. Once we road test it, then there might be some fine tuning adjustments to do on that. This is the Meth controller, which is that's the display. So it's changed now. That's same as what we put in Robert's Mark III Focus RS. So that's the display, which then plugs into the main brain, which is there. All right, that's the main controller. I say that's just the display. So that will be hidden up underneath the glove box. There, look, we'll Velcro it to there where we normally put the for the cars that we use on the EPB, electronic parking brake, for our big brake install. The ECU sits under there. He's not having that, so we'll utilise that for that. As you can see, like in the fuse box, we tag. It's all been tagged in properly to the, you know, so it's properly fused. Obviously, it's a bit tricky because we have to use an ignition feed for the methanol, which is switches and powers down immediately. You can't have a feed to the meth with the CAN bus side of it where it stays on and then, you know, triggers off. Some feeds stay on all the time, and it's finding the one which is, you know, turns on and off. So, you know, you want it to go straight off the ignition, straight on with ignition. You can't have that with a methanol. It has to be that way. All right, you can't have a feed in the background there all the time. So that's what you got to figure out. We know how to do that now. We've done it lots of times, but at first it was like, oh, I can use this one. No, I can't use that one. All right, let's try this one. No, I can't use that one. All right, so in here, obviously you can see it's all still stripped out. We still got some panels to put back on. Timmy's been obviously a little bit of trimming to do on this with the cooler works. Bit different than what we have in what Monty's got on his and what I've got on the little beast That's an ultra shifter. This is a Cooler Works, different make. It is a bit different to me, innit? It's similar looking, but there is a lot of differences between them. The ultra shifter is a lot bigger, a lot more involved. It's the full exchange straight to the gearbox. You get rid of the remote cables, and it's proper adjustable cables. Different selector arm on the turret, on the gearbox, completely different. All right, as you can see there, look, there's the Meth. So we've still got his USB, and then the methanol. All right. Quick little move around to the front there, look, Timmy. So under the bonnet, the wiring. So Timmy's now all the wiring, which before was all like, well, it was just hanging out, Timmy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we've made that all good now. So we've loom taped all that. That goes nice and neat around here, look. Following underneath where the main loom is, following the lines of that. One goes to the solenoid, which is here. So that's your solenoid feed, which triggers the Meth. And then we've got one for a fail-safe, which is under here. That's the fail-safe in case you have a blocked nozzle, well, run out of fluid, it will trigger it. Any sort of electrical problem, it will trigger that, and then it will sort of like shut it down, so that you'll be in sort of like a reduced boost or limp mode. Because what you don't want is the Meth still injecting and getting out of control, and it's not, the controller's not controlling it because it senses something. It's just a fail-safe. It makes it, it's not going to do any damage, put it that way. And that's what you want. All right. So this is all pretty much fitted. We still got to do some tidying up here. Tidy it up. There's your boost tap. There's your Meth nozzle, single nozzle in the charge pipe in this, and then we'll test it, make sure it's all good, set it all up on the controller for whatever PSI we want it to come in at. Test the fail-safe, test the low level and all that sort of stuff. So the fail-safe obviously has to be tagged in. That's our fail-safe. So you got your fail-safe mechanical bit, which is there, but then it needs something to tell the fail-safe, which is from the controller. So we wire that into a boost control solenoid or a map sensor, which is where we wire it into. So it needs something on a boost circuit to trigger it. Okay, because that's what it needs to see. All right. We talked about before, all the orange hoses are bespoke hoses that are done for us with all tagged up with our logos. We still got to put the intercooler back on, which is behind you there, Timmy. The radiator's fitted. He's got dual catch cans on this. We've done the operated engine mount over here, transmission mount over there. That's all been done. Started to do some heat management. We got a bit more to do. He's got the I don't know what make that tubular mouth was, AirTech or R-Sport, something like that. It's completely different than ours, but it was already on the car. So we'll stick with that and run with it, see what happens. Start with the strut brace, which was on. We've done the rear interior strut brace, the DNA one, which was silver. We've had that powder coated black to match the front. So there's lots going on, Timmy, innit?
Yeah.
Got the side exit to fit, which you got from America. That would be cool. The rear splitter diffuser we're taking off. Send that back to James. He'll get the cutout filled in, repainted so it looks all it's not even there in the first place, because he's having a side exit. Because what he doesn't want to do, back of the car staring at a cutout which is supposed to be for the original exit pipes when he's not using that. So that'll be interesting to see what job he gets, whoever it is, to make of that. Be interesting to see that, Timmy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just piecing it back together now, innit? But we thought you've got to switch ramps onto the MOT ramp, and then we'll set all the ride height up. We'll set up the camber. We've got adjustable camber bolts on this from Powerflex, but we can't go too mad on the negative camber on this because he's got 8x17 wheels, so they're an inch wider. That brings the wheel rim closer to the strut upright, even though it's slimmer on the Bilsteins, a bit like the H&Rs. You can only go so far. You can't lean it in too much because it's going to be too close to the upright. We don't run 8x17s, ours is 7x17s on a 17-inch wheel, so we can run it on full negative degree camber, like 3 degrees of negative camber, and it's fine because it's an inch less on the width of the rim in it. So we've got to just bear that in mind when we set it up. We always low tack tape the inside of the rim, Timmy, don't we?
Yeah.
So that it's, if there's any sort of like slight contact when we're setting it up and rolling it around, it's not going to damage anything. Anything else? Done a lot more, haven't we? Obviously we've got to touch up the front brake calipers. They had a tiny little few little marks on them because you got them second hand. The AP ones will touch them in with some 2K paint when we get it on the RAM. So yeah, we're not far away now, but it's really time consuming. The cooler works is quite time consuming to fit because we we just take time in making sure that the trim is correct, and we trim a bit here, that needs to be right, fine tune it, and yeah, so it's and then all the meth install is quite time consuming anyway. All right, so there we are, just a catch up one, and yeah, we'll be back soon with the next update. Right, viewers, guys and girls, welcome back to James's ST180 molten orange in colour. This is the one that we're doing, it's RT330, and we're installing, well, lots of things, but at the moment we are concentrating on just doing the finalisation of the meth install. Timmy, is that right?
That's it, yep.
With the, we can see the meth tank there, we got the brackets that we're just doing the wiring, and the meth feed lines, braided lines, as you can see. Takes a little bit of working out because they're all different. As you can see, look, we've cut that nice and neat. We just put in some templates there, look for where the tank's going to sit. That's going to have to be like loom taped. We keep it nice and neat.
Yeah.
We got a drill through here, put it in the correct place there, and then we'll put some rib nuts in the floor, and then so we can, you don't have to worry about trying to catch nuts underneath with washers and all that sort of stuff. Rib nuts the way to go. Straight in down through the top of the brackets. Some nice Anarchy bolts. Lovely job done on there. As you can see, this is all tagged. We've got to make this all good under there where we've tagged it along there. Cooler work shifters all in. If you've seen that before, viewers. Pretty cool. Yeah, so we're just piecing it back together. Exhaust. We're going to try and get on with that this morning, Timmy, and we get the exhaust on the bench. We'll talk about that. This side exit that James got from America, and then we will we'll then crack on in. We'll dummy fit it all up, see what's what. So we'll have to cut the side skirt for the exit, and yeah, and then we'll crack on from there. But it's coming along nicely, this build. James is quite happy. I sent him loads of pictures, so it won't be long now, and then we'll be nearly there, Timmy, won't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all it was. Just a quick update from inside the car. So more to come. Catch up soon. Right. So check it out. So this is what we talked about on James's, carrying on for the previous section of the video, progress on this. So this is the side exit that he got from America, from 2J Racing. There we are. It's the first side exit that we've seen. It's just been fabricated and made available. Then, other than the Simpson one that we've got on the Little Beast, obviously we had that, and that was custom made, our Simpson Racing source. But this is, yeah, it looks pretty good. It's got the centre silencer, a bit different than what we've got. So this runs a centre silencer. You've got to have some sort of silencer. If you try straight through that, it would be, it'd be absolutely crazy noise, wouldn't it? It'd be too loud.
Yeah.
So we retain. It's not on this one. I was looking at that. It's not this car. It's over there.
Yep.
So he's already got the downpipe section, that's already there. The rest of it we took off, he sold that, shipped that off to somebody else. And yeah, so we're gonna give this a go. Not fitted one yet, so it's fairly straightforward. I mean, that one there, that hanger there will pick up on your normal rubber mount on the front. And then the side exit nut is where it mounts. You got your 3 ports, which is where these come into it. So obviously that's gonna sign over there, and then we have to, the floor will be drilled in a certain position, then we'll rivet nut that and secure it up. Put the gaskets nut, nuts and bolts, etc. So that's what we'll be doing next to me. We'll configure it, see what it's like, and be interested to see what it sounds like. Very interesting to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's crack on.